Hello, my name is Sean Baya. I am a Dene College student under the Bachelor's of Arts program from psychology. For this video for my Native American Studies 413 course, Indigenous Research Methods under Dr. Christine Ami. This is my video presentation for the final presentation of the sweat lodge usage during the COVID-19 pandemic. I opened up with the creation story of how the sweat lodge ceremony had been originated from the twin warriors throughout the creation story, and also how first man and first woman and the animals had utilized the sweat lodge ceremony to cleanse their body, mind, and spirit throughout the emergences of Hajine, of the first world, second world, third world, and fourth world, and on into this world. And the origin of that is basically connected, the ontological grounding is connected with the subject because, it's the sweat lodge ceremony usage during the COVID pandemic was still utilized for the same reasons why it was utilized back in the creation story, and that is to fight off the enemy of the enemies who are killing humans, which is also the same thing as how the COVID-19 virus had killed off many of our Navajo people. So there's a research question. And the research question is, why is the sweat lodge ceremony significant during the COVID pandemic? Like I said, we utilized it. Me and my family had utilized it for purification and also protection, to clean our body, our mind, our spirit, and our emotion like that throughout the pandemic. The pandemic was something that was not easy to deal with. We were having to be underneath the stay-at-home order, and also we lost a lot of relatives who lost their lives to the COVID virus. And dealing with that, people had to adjust to losing loved ones and losing close people. And you never know who was going to go. You never know what day they were going to go. People were constantly filling up the hospitals, so everybody didn't know what to do. At the same time, we had to really think about resources in the stores, and it really stressed out people. But throughout that time, the sweat lodge was here for us so that we could maintain a positive peace of mind, and also to have a strong belief that everything's going to be okay. We're going to pull through, and our family was going to get well, which a lot of them had gotten well. And through prayers and songs, we had utilized through traditional prayers and songs. Utilized for our family and ourselves to get through the pandemic. So, with that research agenda, the research agenda I utilized was healing out of mobilization, healing, decolonization, and transformation. I utilized healing because that's where the sweat lodge ceremony was being used to talk to relatives who were there in attendance, and also to get over the fact, what had happened. Like I mentioned, it's very traumatizing to actually think and go back how we all went about living throughout the pandemic. And a lot of people, felt like they wanted to go crazy. It just really depressed everybody. It just really put down a lot of people, and it was a tough subject. It was a tough time to live in for us modern day Navajos. But at the same time, it was the sweat lodge was used as a healing process to pray for ourselves and continue on with spiritual beliefs like that everything was going to be good again. And also, the research methods I had utilized was interviews, qualitative and quantitative surveys. Talking circles was utilized as well inside of the sweat lodge ceremony. First part, I utilized Nitsahakes, demographic information, getting information about the participants through the surveys. And also, section two, Nahata, questions about general previous experience with the research topic. Talk to them about how they associated with sweat lodge ceremonies in the past and how it has helped them like that, and um, what their experience was with the COVID-19 pandemic and the COVID-19 virus if they experienced it. Section three is INA, questions about specific interactions, reactions result with the research question. So that was their um, answer about the types of questions underneath the surveys. And four is see his sin, questions about how to resolve the issue at hand, and also if they would like to participate in future topics relating to the research topic. And my story, my story is like I said, me and my family had participated in the sweat lodge ceremonies here at home. We didn't have a choice, even though it was shut down, even though spiritual ceremonies, everything, large gatherings were shut down and restricted on the Navajo Nation, but yet we did not depend on our political leaders. We did not depend on our healthcare facilities. So we went about having to go throughout the old way that was brought here for us to cleanse ourselves and continue on praying like that, because that was our belief, is to pray with the sweat lodge ceremony, even though people weren't able to do so, but yet it was set here for us for this specific reason, since the time of the creation story of the twin warriors, and also first man and first woman during the emergence, to cleanse themselves and pray for protection, and pray against monsters like that. I believe they call it the Naye Keho, the protection way ceremonies. So my story like that, and this project here, this research project, is something very important to me because I was a part of it, and that's my belief, and I believe it's still within the Navajo cultural um, way of living, amongst other Navajo ceremonies as well too. And my overall experience in this class is learning about indigenous research methodologies and the impact it had, of all the information that I read, of how scholars, Native American scholars, had went about being optimistic within the westernized approach of methodologies, comparing that to Native American perspectives, and putting that together and showing and explaining how Native American perspective through the earth, the natural elements, and the spiritual way of being is basically how it impacted me, and I did not know that there was such things out there, but it was very interesting. And now I see not only the westernized way of education, not only the westernized way of research. There's also research done since, um, like I said, the creation story. That's definitely a good example of how research went about for the sweat lodge ceremony to be utilized throughout and all those teachings were utilized and passed on throughout generations and generations for us to utilize during the time of need. So I had learned a lot in this class, and I really enjoyed it. And it's a very powerful class, and I would recommend a lot of students to take it. And I'm really thankful that Dr. Ami and Dene College had allowed me to study underneath their project. And may everything be good, and hopefully this sweat lodge ceremony will This wet lodge ceremony project will be able to incite some people and continue on like that within your families. Thank you very much.